What's up, everybody? Good morning on this fine, wonderful Sunday morning. Welcome to a Sunday morning slam. That's what we're doing. Sunday morning slam. That's going to be a new thing. We're going to talk about all kinds of stuff today. I'm talking about King of the Ring from yesterday. Let's make sure this stream is up everywhere it's supposed to be up. You know what I mean? This is my first time going solo. It's all good, though, baby. It's all good. Yes, I tested it. Look at that. I'm live. I'm live on Twitter. So thank you right now, man. You're here on the Sports Nuts Sunday Morning Slam. Welcome. Good morning. Have some coffee, pull up a chair, drink your protein shake, drink your whatever you want to drink. It's all good. But what we're going to talk about today is WWE King and Queen of the Ring from yesterday. I'm not going to dive in yet. I'm going to dive in just a moment. But if you're not familiar, I know we're the sports nuts. We talk about everything, and people go, is pro wrestling sports? Is it not? It's sports entertainment, and it's fun, and we're the sports nuts, and we talk about whatever we want to. But so that's what we're going to talk about. So I'll tell you a little bit about King and Queen of the Ring. This year is a tournament that they go over. They wrestle a few matches on SmackDown, a few matches on Raw. This year they actually had qualifying matches and some live events, non-televised events, which one I was at in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Dude, it was sold out. A live event. When I say a live event, one that's not on TV, it's not being recorded, it's not a PLE, which is a premium live event. It's out there. It's just a show, and they did it. Um, LA Knight advanced in the one we were at, as did I don't know, somebody else. Doesn't matter. Either way, King and Queen of the Ring was a tournament. So the finals were yesterday, held yesterday in Saudi Arabia. If you don't know, WWE's been having shows in Saudi Arabia once, twice a year over the past several years. It's been part of the Saudi Arabia initiative to rebrand themselves, to revitalize their country, or as they call it, their kingdom, whatever you look at, right? I'm not going to go down a whole political thing, but WWE's been an integral part, as have many other entertainment industries, and Live Golf is one, and all these other pieces. So it's interesting, right? But the crowds love having that entertainment. You can see it over the past several years. They had the greatest Royal Rumble, which had one of the craziest moments of all time when uh, Titus O'Neil came running down the ramp and fell and slid underneath the ring on accident. Y'all, it was so funny. But anyway, a little bit about King and Queen of the Ring is that's what it is. This year they put stakes on it. This year they said, hey, those people who win, the King and the Queen of the Ring, get a title match at SummerSlam, which is coming up in Cleveland. So they get a title match of their respected brands. So to kind of tell you what that means, if you're not familiar with WWE, is those respected brands are SmackDown and Raw, and they have separate rosters. They don't cross over. They do a little bit around WrestleMania season, but for the most part, they don't cross over. They have their own champions. Cody Rhodes is the world champion or WWE champion on SmackDown, and then you have Damian Priest, who is considered the world champion over on Raw. So depending on who won these matches, they get a title match for that championship at SummerSlam. So let's go down the card. Just kind of go down. We're gonna break down the matches a little bit. I'm not going to go into all kinds of details. So many people out there doing it. I just want to kind of give this a little bit something to the sports nuts and talk about it. So, first match was kind of on the pre-show. Pre-show is kind of like, think about the lead-up show to an MLB contest or inside the NBA, something to that effect. So what they do is they have a panel discussion, but in this case, they integrate a match, and then they have a little bit more panel discussion. Then they jump into the actual live event. So during this one, we had Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair, who are the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, facing Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. If you don't know who Jade Cargill is or Bianca Belair, I'll tell you a little bit about them. Bianca Belair ran track and was a athlete for the University of Tennessee, and Jade Cargill, I don't know all her background, but girl is built. Should have shown a picture. But if you look her up, Jade Cargill, she's also married to Brandon Phillips, former MLB second baseman. Played with the Braves for a hot second. So, yeah, Um, she's not doing it for the money. She's doing it because she wants to, which is really cool. Both of them jacked to the gills, y'all. I'm talking both of them. And Jade is a star waiting to happen. She's a newcomer to WWE. Bianca's been around for a little while, but unbelievable, unbelievable contest. Great match. Very good match. At the end, Jade and Bianca did come out on top. They had this nice little finishing maneuver. What's cool about them is you can see their friendship and their bond happening like organically, not just from a character standpoint, but from a real people standpoint. You can tell they enjoy being in there together, and they're very similar in the standpoint of that they're built well, uh, crossover type athletes, and all of that. It's really cool to see what they're doing. But jumping past that, um, we kind of jump into the main card. We lead off with Becky Lynch, who is the world women's champion, and Liv Morgan. So Becky's been around for a little while, and Liv just came back from an injury not long ago. So kind of give you a little bit of that backstory, and she's kind of trying to avenge her injury. She injured the person, Rhea Ripley, who injured her, and now she's been coming in second. Everything came in right behind. She lost to Becky um, in the Battle Royal. She's lost in the Elimination Chamber. All these little things. So she came in second. So she's kind of been that bridesmaid, not the bride. And this match I thought was a very excellent match. It was good. Liv kind of had a nice coming out party. Dominic Mysterio, who was storyline wise is Rhea Ripley's boyfriend. He came down, kind of got involved a little bit and caused the distraction, allow Liv to grab that the win. I was excited. I'm glad. I like Liv Morgan. I think she's good. She's somebody who's improved dramatically over the past several years. Dramatically, y'all. And I love seeing her step up, jumping in, and now taking the reins. Let's see where she goes with it, man. Um, yeah, let's see where she goes with all of this because I think she's going to take over the Judgment Day, and I love it. I love the fact she's kind of infiltrating slowly. She's going to come in and disrupt everything Rhea Ripley has built and everything that Rhea Ripley has done, and it's fun to see. The one thing about pro wrestling is when they do the stories and you suspend your disbelief and you put it over here and you understand that these are storylines and these are you know, storylines mixed in with athletic ability centered around that. Dude, you can get so lost into it, and so it's so much fun to see where we're going with this. Um, Next we had Sami Zayn versus Bronson Reed versus Chad Gable. So to kind of give you a little bit of heads up of what, um, hey, you know what? I'm gonna pop this question out here. I love having questions here. So this one, is it true that pro wrestling is farming athletes that didn't quite make it into sports at a pro level? Yes and no. So one of the things that WWE does now, there are some who haven't made it. There are some who got injured. There's a Baron Corbin. There's use Chad Gable. Chad Gable is an Olympian. We're about to talk about Chad Gable in a second. He actually participated in the Olympics, and as a amateur wrestler. You have others who you say you didn't necessarily make it. They may not have been superstars, right? But they had that athletic ability. Take a Bill Goldberg from back in the day. He played with the Falcons. He played with some others as a backup. Moose, who's right now the TNA Total Nonstop Action World Heavyweight Champion, a different organization. He actually played for the Falcons and multiple others. Again, backups. But something else that WWE has done is they have an NIL and deal with multiple college athletes. So of course, his name, image, and likeness, but it's also they call it next in line. And one of the things they do is they sign these college athletes to a deal where they do promote the WWE during their collegiate time, but then the goal is for them to transition from whatever sport they're playing as they end up in college and transition into WWE. WWE has a performance center down in Orlando where they train people, and some pan out, some don't. I've heard them talk about it. So, to an extent, Jody, yes, they are going after some of those athletes, but it's a venue for a lot of these athletes to continue that competitive spirit, continue um, that drive, And so I think that's what's cool about it. And but yeah, there are some, and there's some that you see that get into it anyway. I mean, Pat McAfee, you may think, oh, he was a punter, very successful punter, but he ain't small, and he's had a couple of matches, and there's so many pro athletes, superstars that were huge fans. I mean, everybody from LeBron down to Shaq. Shaq's done a couple of matches and things like that. Huge pro wrestling fans. So it's pretty cool to see that. Um, so let's jump into that about Chad Gable, who, like I said, was an Olympian. Is him, Sami Zayn, and Bronson Reed in a triple threat for an intercontinental match. In the intercontinental. I need some coffee. I need some coffee out of my NWO mug. Hang on a second. So this match actually was exceeded all my expectations. Sammy, great veteran, wonderful in the ring. Chad Gable has really started to become into his own, little kind of like a Kurt Angle 2.0, and Bronson Reed just a big, burly, badass, y'all. I'm talking big and can move around the ring really good. This match just exceeded all of my expectations. I expected, I figured Sammy and Chad would kind of pair off together and do their thing, but Bronson was killing it. I felt like he was the star of this show. He came out just, I mean, carrying, showing the power, but showing the flexibility, um, just several things, and just some of the creativeness, even down to Sami Zayn sliding out, Chad Gable pulling the ring apron out. Sammy fell in between that. He starts smacking him. Very fit, Finley-ish from the past, but kind of cool to see that. Bronson Reed, probably 350, 400 pounds. I mean, big dude, y'all. Big. Like, if you at Golden Corral and you running Golden Corral and he come walking in, you might as well go ahead and start cooking and start getting everything ready because that food's gone, y'all. He's about to kill it. This dude climbed up to the top rope and did a moonsault. He missed, thank God, because he would have killed somebody. But he did a moonsault. If you don't know what a moonsault is, it's a backflip off the top rope. 400 pounder. Dude's huge. A backflip off the top rope. Come on, man. It was crazy. But overall, I mean, at the end, Sami Zayn comes out on top, hits him with the haluba kick in the corner, and defends his Intercontinental Championship. But for me, coming out of this match, I thought all of them came out bigger and better than they had. Um, the way it ended, Otis, who is one of Chad Gable's partners in the Alpha Academy, ended up clotheslining Chad Gable on accident, and it was cool. It was fun. So yeah, it was basically, yeah, Jody is it's a gainer off the top, right? But it was a great match. If you have a chance to go back on, if you guys are subscribed on Peacock, go find it. I'm sure it's viral out there as well on WWE on TikTok or something. But having that little clothesline by Otis at the end, missing Bronson, no, missing Sammy, hitting Chad, that's going to set up more stuff between those two. That's what I love about wrestling is you have these storylines and you have this big storyline, but then you have this little one over here and this little one over here and this little one over here. So there's a big storyline between Sammy and Chad, and now we're going to have that one between Otis and Chad. And I think that's going to be fun because one cool thing about them, they're both legit Olympians, and they both wrestled. Um, they were in the same camp at one point from the Olympics, so they were quote unquote legit athletes from the real world of athletics, and now they're gonna end up probably wrestling each other, having a feud. Should be a lot of fun, a lot of fun. Next, we have Nia Jax. Yeah, hang on a second. Nia Jax. I don't get this one. So Nia Jax has been somebody she's a big girl, right? She's a big girl, pretty, big girl, former plus size model. None of that matters. To be honest, she's not good in the ring. She has her moments, but man, it's just so many things I wish I could do with her. Like if I was booking, I would have had an Awesome Kong from back in the day from TNA just sit with her and say, "We're gonna turn you into Awesome Kong 2.0." They didn't. Whatever. So she's facing Lyra Valkyrie. I don't know. I can't pronounce it very well. NXT for a while. Anybody who doesn't know what NXT is, that's the developmental for WWE. Anyway, she's been there really showed out. I mean, she came out this nice entrance too, y'all. It was like she had these huge wings come out, and it was just really nice. But at the end, Nia Jax ended up winning, becoming the queen of the ring, which means she's going to get a title match at SummerSlam. Not shocked at this. I kind of figured it might be Nia. Nia brings a lot to the table. I mean, I've never been a big fan of hers, but she does bring a lot to the table. She has a little bit of a star power. A lot of people hate her, so she has a lot of hate, which is a good thing. You want emotion, and hate is an emotion. So she brings a lot of heat, a lot of hate from the fans. So there's that. Um, but man, she hit this thing called the Annihilator, which is kind of, well, not kind of. She's in the corner. Lyra's down. She basically sits on her. You think about the old earthquake move. If you remember, if any of you guys are older and saw earthquake back in the day when he used to when he squashed Hogan, take that, put it in the corner. She sits on him. Yesterday, she did. There was no cushioning. There was like she was smashed. Oh, that girl, it hurt me. Like right here, it hurt. Like I watched, I was, oh, 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 that hurt. I felt bad for her. Like I was like, them ribs, them ribs ain't feeling too good today. There ain't no way those ribs are feeling too good today. There's no way. But anyway, yeah. So she's gonna get a WWE Women's Championship match, which will be against Bailey, who is the WWE Women's Champion. So that's the SmackDown version of the championship. So she'll get a chance to go against that. Makes sense. I fully expect Bailey to beat her at SummerSlam. I hope, and continue her reign. But overall, decent match. I think Tyra came out looking really good. So I think that was really good. Let's see here. Gunther versus Randy Orton. Randy Orton, the legend killer. The dude's been around forever, one of the best wrestlers of all time. Finally getting his appreciation. I think that we've all known how good he's been, but he's finally getting that appreciation, finally getting that accolades of how good he is. I've never been a fan of his, but I've become more of one over the past couple of years. And he's so smooth in the ring. He's so good, but he's never been crazy. He's always kept it. He's got that psychology down. He knows his character. He knows what he's supposed to do, and all of that. So it's fun to see that Gunther, the former Walter, which was in the international world, dude was huge. He's trimmed down so much. Such a good wrestler. Oh my gosh, y'all, he's so good. This match I thought was probably the match of the night. Now, when I look at the match in the night, it wasn't high flying by any stretch. Neither one of these dudes is gonna be high flying. They're not gonna be doing flippies and floppies and super kicks and all the kind of craziness and 25 DDTs and 38, Hurricane Ranas. But they're gonna get out there and they're gonna have a good match that tells a story. And it told a great story throughout the entire match. Even concentrating down to how Randy Orton's knee was hurt. And what was really cool is the end. Randy Orton goes to pin Gunther. Gunther did go over, did win, so he's our king of the ring. But as he goes to pin Gunther, Gunther doesn't kick out. He hits Randy in the knee. And Randy's knee has been bothering him throughout the entire match. So that's part of that storyline, right? The match, the knee, and then boom, he hits him in the knee, and that's how he kicks out. I was like, dude, that's genius. You don't see that. You always see the guy just kick out, right? But this was something different. And the announcers, Michael Cole, so good that he points out he hit him in the knee. And then they show the replay and you see him hit him in the knee. Now, here's what's interesting. He hits him in the knee. He rolls him over him. He, being Gunther, rolls Randy Orton over. One, two, three. But Randy Orton's shoulders about that far off the ground, off the mat. That shoulder's up. They could, so you're like, oh, that didn't look good. I love the fact that afterwards Triple H addressed it. Triple H said, "Look, I didn't see it live. I saw the replay. Yes, his shoulder was up. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to make sure that when Randy Orton comes back from his injury, comes back, after getting his knee taken care of or whatever, he's going to get a rematch against Gunther. So whether it's either it's a rematch against Gunther to get to that title match or at least a title match. I love the fact that they addressed it. They didn't just sweep it under the rug like VKM would have done. So I just love that. I love how they kind of threw that in there afterwards. Excellent match. Excellent match. Any guys out there who aspire to be wrestlers, or you want to see a match that's going to be involving emotion and all of that, this is a fun match to watch. It traditional, a little bit of new school in, a little bit of hard hitting, great psychology, a lot of back and forth. There was not a whole lot of just beat down on Randy and then Randy come back. It was back and forth, back and forth. I thought it was an excellent match. Really showcased how good Gunther is, but also showcase how excellent Randy Orton is of taking somebody like Gunther and helping elevate him even more. Not that he needs to be elevated, right? He's been doing crazy, awesome stuff over the past several years, but Randy Orton knows he's a star. He knows he's a legend. He knows he's a made man. And by somebody like that giving this rub to Gunther just elevates him even more. So now Gunther is our king of the ring for 2024. He's going to get that title shot against Damian Priest, who's the world heavyweight champion at SummerSlam in Cleveland. So that should be a good match. Should be fun. Curious to see where they go with that because Gunther is world champion. I can definitely see it. I'm a fan of Damian Priest as world champion. So personally, I'm gonna be pulling for Damien. I've been a fan of Damien's for a while, even back when he was in NXT. I really didn't see him too much before he got to WWE as Punishment Martinez, but yeah, I've just always been a fan, and yeah, I'm hoping he keeps it, but we'll see. But that's a tease that says when SummerSlam comes up, we're gonna have to talk. Everybody who's here now, here on the Sports Nuts, and watching on our YouTube or on Facebook or at the Greg Troxel Show on on my other YouTube or on my Twitter or wherever you're watching right now, we're gonna talk about SummerSlam. All right, let's jump on. Let's keep on moving, keep on moving, keep on moving. Where are we at next? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, we had Cody, my man, my favorite wrestler in the world right now, Cody Rhodes versus Logan Paul. Yes, that Logan Paul. Yes, that Logan Paul, the YouTuber. Yes, Logan Paul from Impulsive, the podcast. Yes, that Logan Paul who owns Prime. Of course, I have my Prime. That Logan Paul. Let's talk about Logan for a second. So, Logan Paul first came in wrestling, and let's don't get it twisted. They brought him in because he brings in a different audience, right? Millions of viewers, millions of people on his YouTube. They're like, oh, we're going to follow you, Logan. I remember back in the day when he and KSI had that first fight, and I watched it with my kid. We watched there's YouTubers all throughout the day, um, fighting and boxing and all that kind of stuff, and then you see what that became. It became something where he became, fighting Floyd Mayweather. This is crazy. The path that Logan Paul has gone on, and I gotta give him so much credit. That He's a dude's a genius. That he's taken something like that, promoted himself, taken himself to a different level, and rose his stardom. But then he jumps into the WWE, ends up having a couple of matches, and it's like, man, this dude putting in the work, really putting in the work. And then he has a match with Roman Reigns last year where he jumps off the top rope. Viral moment. He actually has somebody hand him his phone. He records it. Dude is crazy. But how good he has become in such a short amount of time is amazing. And there's people who say, oh, yeah, he works on it, he works on it. But yeah, he does. He does work on it. That's what I love about him. I love Logan Paul. The fact that he takes it serious. He beat Rey Mysterio last year with some brass knucks, but he became U.S. champion. And people say, "Oh, why would you give him the U.S. champion?" This dude takes the belt everywhere. He takes it on his show. He's been seen at UFC events with the belt. He's been seen at boxing events. If you go look at Jake Paul's boxing events where Logan's there, he's got the championship. He gets it. He understands how to promote. He understands how to build this brand. He knows he's a WWE superstar. He said it. I'm a WWE superstar. I love it. I wish he wrestled more. But him and Cody coming into this, I'm like, this is going to be good because Cody is so good. Logan is so good. And this match was excellent, I felt. I felt like Cody gave him a little bit too much, but beyond that, it was good. I mean, good storytelling. They talked about the whole brass knucks thing, and Logan had somebody in the crowd hand him brass knucks. He hits Cody in the ribs, where Cody had already hurt his ribs earlier in the match, so he had to kind of fight through this. Logan hits this frog splash through Cody on the table, so he puts Cody on the announce table. He goes to the top rope. They had this camera angle that spins around Logan. It was sick. And then Logan jumps off, boom, hits it. Beautiful. You got to go check it out. Go on WWE's Instagram, go on WWE's TikTok. It's out there. Go on Logan's. I believe it's on Logan Paul's as well. It's sick. Anyway, this match was excellent. Cody comes out on top at the end, as well he should. He's still your undisputed WWE champion. Logan's championship was not on the line, so he's still US champion. Excellent match, really fun. Crowd was into it. I love just seeing these crowds. The crowds today are insane out there. And you think about it, we're in Saudi Arabia and they're singing Cody's song. They're singing Randy Orton's song, and it's just so much fun. What WWE is becoming right now is so immersive with these fans and everybody else. It's just it's awesome. Um, it was just it's a lot of it's just cool. It's cool to see these international crowds like this. Uh, they haven't been in the states for a PLE in a while, premium live event, being like what we used to call pay-per-views. And the next one, not the next one's Clash at the Castle. But after that, SummerSlam will be here in Cleveland, back in the states. So Cleveland, you guys got a lot to live up to. These crowds in France and in um, Saudi Arabia, and I'm sure this next one, Clash at the Castle, it's gonna be crazy too. You guys got a lot to live up to. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed the matches. I enjoyed the whole card. I thought the matches were well done. I thought the finishes were good. I can't argue with anybody who went over and who didn't go over. I'm not happy about Nia Jax, but I get it. Right? I get it. Um, Cody had Cody, but the thing about Cody's is there's parts of Cody. I'm like, yo, you better kick out, dude. You better kick out. So I'm like, come on. And that's the art of this wrestling thing, y'all. Is if you're not a big fan or were a fan back in the day, come back in. Come back in and just kind of get sucked into the storylines. Put your uh suspend your disbelief, just like you do when you go watch them Avengers, you go watch any of these movies and just understand it's entertainment. It's fun entertainment. It's a lot of fun. I see we got a couple questions over here. Just a little bit of comments about Logan and such, but yeah, Logan is so good. And tonight, AEW, All Elite Wrestling. If you guys don't know who that is, it's kind of like the number two promotion in the world, owned by Tony Khan, who is part of the son of the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. And they have their pay-per-view tonight. Double or Nothing coming out of Las Vegas. Should be a good show. They always have good matches. My complaint with AEW, not the greatest storylines in the world, but their matches you cannot argue about. They have wonderful matches. So if you just wanted to tune in and see great matches, boom, there you go. And it's they should be a fun card to watch. I think one day we're gonna do some watch alongs here. I can, pop in here. You guys can tune in. We can sit here and watch a Raw. We can watch a SmackDown. We can watch a Dynamite, which is AEW. Watch a Impact Wrestling, which is TNA, and just have some fun. So if you guys want to do that, let us know in the comments. But yeah, thank you for joining me on this Sunday morning slam. I think we should do this more often. Sunday morning slam sounds like a good term. Having some coffee in my NWO Hollywood Hulk Hogan mug, drinking some Prime over here because that's what I do. Because you got to support your WWE wrestlers. Anyway, Prime is good though. So thank you guys for joining me today. Make sure you like, follow. You see right over here. That's my handles right there on Instagram and on Twitter. Go hit me up over there. You ever want to talk wrestling? Just shoot me a message. And you know what? Y'all want to have more wrestling talk? I'm happy to jump on here anytime. Also, I have another wrestling podcast outside of the sports nuts here called Talk 'em Into the Building. So if you go on to Talk 'em Pod in within YouTube, all we do is talk about wrestling promos. We go back and look at old promos. We just recorded one about Mick Foley. We did one with Iron Claw where we went back and looked at a lot of the Von Erich promos We've done some with some independent wrestlers. We've gone back and looked at we had different, like a Christmas theme. Everybody had to bring a promo from Christmas. So go back and check that out if you get a chance. And I'll pop I'll tweet out the link to that. But it is at Talkem Pod, TalkemPod on YouTube. A lot of fun. And yeah, anytime you want to talk wrestling, talk anything else, and we'll be back talking Braves and all that. But that's not today. That's not today. Not on a Sunday morning slam with Greg T. But hey, you know what? I think next Sunday we'll do this again. 8 a.m. every Sunday. How does that sound? Let's do it. Sunday morning slam every Sunday, 8 a.m. But thank you guys for joining me today. Have fun. Have a great rest of your Memorial Day weekend. And until then, make it just too sweet. Because if you're on wrestling, you can't be like peace out and all that kind of stuff with what they say, um, peace and bacon grease, whatever JD and Shane always say. But I'll just say it's too sweet, baby. Talk to you later.